Patch 1.31 Dev Server. This is the second video in which we take a look at the new things that have been added in Patch 1.31. So in the last video we were taking a look at the new improved economy and also the new planes in the tech tree. In this video we're going to be taking a look at these new individual planes and their flight capacities in actual battles. So in the first plane we're jumping on into is the P-36C Hawk Tier 3 plane over here, one of the lower tier ones that they've added. And just before we actually get started, what I'd like to do is make sure, are you still able to land the Krebs way? What is landing the Krebs way? It's landing on an airfield at a high speed and being able to take off shortly afterwards without having to go to a full stop. And yes, we can!
Patch approved.
So now that we've gotten that out of the way, a number of you have been requesting, Krebs, why is it taking so long to get this next video out? You're supposed to do it a while ago, and I know, I was supposed to actually do it a few days ago, but the thing is, the dev server is very inconsistent with its opening times. As far as I'm aware, I don't know of any place where they actually list down exactly where they're going to be having their opening times or specific opening times. So a lot of times I'll just log in every hour or so of the day until I manage to log in, and so lo and behold, I've managed to do it. This is actually footage from a few days of effort. It's not specifically from one day because the server goes up and then it goes down. Alright, so that was the Hawk. The Hawk is a bit weird. It seems like it has a lot of problems with rolling, and you've seen that when I was trying to do some of my turns on the enemy. I had to go into some sort of high yo-yos. This is the Thatcher's Buffalo that I'm going out into now, and it flies, well, it flies pretty much just like a Buffalo. Why am I flying out into Arcade Battle, by the way? The reason I'm flying out into Arcade Battle is because there's not a lot of people on. There's around 300 or so people on at a time. Many games you go out into, you'll be put up against AI, and you'll notice it in these matches if I ever bring up the scoreboard, or generally speaking when you see some of the players, if they have brackets around their name, it's because they're actually an AI player, and the AI isn't actually too bad. They can go for you decently, they try to evade you and such, so pretty smart, but hey ho, giving it a go. And I'll be honest with you guys, this is probably the last video I'm gonna do of the 1.31 patch, and that's because it's silly. At 300 people testing the server at once, you have to play against AI, you have to play Arcade Battle because it takes forever to get historical battles, and also if you're in a lower tier plane like I am, the Thatcher's Buffalo tier 1 I believe, you're put up against jet fighters. So you've seen that jet, that MiG, fly right on by me. You could hear that distinctive sound of its jet zoom passed on by. Yeah, you've seen it there as well. So it's kind of pointless in a way. What am I showing in this clip? I'm trying to do all these clips at the same time. I think I'm just generally showing you what they've been adding and changing in the tech tree. Actually, that's a good point. If you take a look at the Mustang and also the Thunderbolt, remember how in the last video there was actually two variations of each plane? But now those variations are gone. You just have that one distinct model. Okay, fair enough. So they're taking out planes, and they're also introducing planes. I think I'll be showing you guys the Yak 9P that they added in this clip coming up soon. But interesting points. Okay, fair enough. They've moved those planes out, and where have they gone? Are they gonna have them as specials? I have no idea. Here's another plane, the XP50, Tier 14. In the last video I did, it was at Tier 9, I believe. Now it's at Tier 14. So they're really just making a lot of changes, and another point of why I think this is going to be one of my last videos that I make of this patch, because a lot of the stuff that I might make a video on to try and show you guys what the changes are going to be, the chances are those changes are going to get changed. So it's not concrete at all. Anything that I show you is likely up to being changed, and that's just exactly what happened with this XP50, for example, going from Tier 9, I believe, to Tier 14. Decent plane though. If I was to compare it to anything, I feel like it's a more agile version of the Beaufighter, and still quite a powerful plane as well. Got decent armaments on it. Managing to kill a number of AIs in that game. And here we go. This is the next clip for the achievements screen. So whenever you finish a battle, you'll see that you get these little medals with your experience, your premium bonuses, and also you have these awards that are just unlike what they used to be, but now there's actual icons for those awards. So, you know, your fighter and whatnot, survivalist, whatever. There's actual icons to show them now. Nice little added change. Now here's a clip of the XP55 Ascender, Tier 8. I think it wasn't Tier 8 before. I can't remember what it was before, but it's Tier 8 now. And again, testing out whether you can land in the Krebs way. Here we go. Coming in for a very fast approach.
Patch approved.
This is a very strange plane. I'm sure you guys are all aware by now. It has its propeller, its actual engine at the back of the plane. So one of these unique prototypes they had back in World War II. In fact, because it's called the XP55, a lot of times the pilots who were using these prototypes, they weren't actually used in battle, by the way. Just whenever they were testing these prototypes, they actually came to know this plane as the XP55 Ass Ender. So imagine separating Ascender into Ass and Ender, and rightly so named because it had its engine at the back and so propellers at the back. So the Ascender, fair enough. Love those sort of names. And already taking out some guys. Now this also brings up an interesting prospect. Notice how the front of my plane got shot up, including my nose. Now in most planes, if your nose is black, your engine would cut out, and so I wasn't sure, is my engine going to cut out or not? And it didn't, because my engine is attached to the back of the plane, so I imagine it's going to all come down to the back. Now, is this a good thing? Is it a bad thing to have your engine at the back? Well, you don't want people on your 6 o'clock because your engine's going to go out. And you definitely don't want people at your 12 o'clock because they can shoot you in the pilot cockpit. So, kind of weird. That was a little symbol of some golden eagles you'll be able to earn. Fly out in the Marcolins. I think it's an Italian pilot who flew this. And just one thing actually before finishing off the XP55 Ascender. One thing they haven't gotten historically accurate is whenever you try to actually eject from that plane, they came up with an intuitive design. You would first jettison the engine before you would jump out or eject from the plane, because your pilot would actually go flying into the engine otherwise. So that's why they jettisoned it first. Okay, so that's the Marcolins, I'm probably saying it wrong, done. Now we're on to the Toryu. This is a bit of an interesting plane as well, because it's actually, it's a heavy fighter, so you can almost think of it the Japanese version of the Beaufighter, and it has a 37mm cannon on it. Now, it comes out at Tier 5, this one here, okay? So, if I'm getting it correct, and please correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that this would be the first plane that has a 37mm cannon in the game. So, you know, you have your Aerocobras and such, but I believe you unlock your Aerocobras at Tier 6. Having that at Tier 5 makes you the first one to have a 37mm cannon. Interesting prospects right there. So MiG-315 now, taking on some other enemies. And I think this actually might be a one-on-one. I think this Yoko guy up here is the only person I'm taking on apart from AIs. And that's the AI that actually hit me in my wings and my tail. Ripping my tail, making a massive hole. Come on, how is that even keeping together right now? But this is actually a little bit of a fun clip. So probably for the next few minutes, I'm going to be showing you guys what the new MiG-1315 is like, and also the new lag is like as well. And it's fun because me and this guy, he owns me entirely in this MiG plane, and I'm just trying to be defensive now because I can barely turn. But what's going to be a bit funny is once I jump out into my lag, this guy gets completely smashed over and over and over and over again. And I could just totally imagine his frustration at the number of times he's going to be killed in a few moments. But anyway, still in my MiG-315, just trying to evade him, and I'm climbing along the side of the mountain. That's the AI that crashed into the mountain there. And I'm thinking maybe I can hug along the side, trick him out. Maybe he can't see me as he was flying along the side of the mountain, but he actually did. He managed to keep a hold of me. and I didn't get to make a maneuver in which I could come up behind him. He's firmly on my 6. That's me pretty much going down now. It's probably going to hit me here. Yeah, that's all my controls gone. Crashed into the ocean. That's me. You'll also notice in your screen, it mentions how you get killed differently now. So it shows what kind of damage you took, and also who killed you. Who got the credits awarded for shooting you down. So this is the Lag 366 that I'm using, and this is where the fun is about to start. Tearing up this guy a little bit here in this LA5FN. So he's using the same plane that he just killed me in. I've come out with my new one and destroyed him completely. We had a few head-ons there, no problem. Managed to get around him. Was quite evasive, and generally speaking, I'm enjoying this plane, this Lag, because it's freely maneuverable. Engine, I don't think is the best, but it's perfectly capable of taking on planes. What you'll notice sometimes with these I-15s, for example, and especially when you're doing vertical climbs, is that when I do these vertical climbs with the I-15s, we'll almost get into a scissor-like maneuvers, engagements, and we'll be corkscrewing around each other. However, the I-15's engine will cut out before mine does in the Lag over here, and that gives me the edge onto killing them. But these are just AIs, by the way, these I-15s. That's one down. And another AI right behind me. See, we're gonna get into these sort of scissors-like maneuvers, corkscrewing all the way up, and pretty soon his plane is gonna cut out, whilst mine is not gonna have all the power that I wanted, but it's gonna still have quite a bit of power. And see, I managed to get behind him, getting more thrust, more engine power, and here we go on the cross. One shot, damaged him a little bit, but still got the edge to come up behind him. This is an AI, so nothing to be proud of, to be honest. And his pilot's gone. I think it's probably a good thing to actually notice here as well. These are low-lying clouds. I don't think these are high clouds. I mean, it's about 1.8 kilometers, which is still quite high, but in some of the other clips, you would notice I was actually flying out in some lower clouds, which is pretty cool. They're actually adding those into the game. Alright, so pulling down my throttle, making him overshoot in his Lag 366. He did quite a bit of damage to my tail and also my fuselage, but no problem, I'm behind him now. Few shots, that's him gone, so 2 kills for me, 1 hit for him. 2-1, you could effectively say. And now I'm just looking out for my next opponent here. But one thing you should actually notice with these clouds is that it's very difficult to see your opponents through them, and that's of course anticipated, and it's just like 1.29, it's hard to see through the clouds, but I think they've actually made it, you feel it a lot more in 1.31, as in you won't really see anyone through the clouds unless they're around 700, 800 meters. Oh, that's another AI. Okay, no problems. Shouldn't be able to take me on. Look at that AI go. It seems pretty smart actually how it's maneuvering. But I'm coming up around him. Gonna get him over here. Yeah. And that's just a quarter, not even a quarter, an eighth of his wing gone, and that's him dead. So here's the next engagement against Yoko in his MiG-3, pulling off to the side after getting a few shots off. Didn't manage to actually get any of those shots to contact this plane though. And he's heading on up, slowing down, whilst I'm heading down on top of him, because I have more speed. Speed is the lifeblood, and that's 3-1 for me. And skipping another clip, because he's around here. Yep, he's directly behind me. Look behind me, do a quick turn. He's going to be diving down with probably too much speed, so I'm just doing a left and right maneuvers, and he's completely overshot me whilst I'm turning. I've probably got the advantage since I've already been turning and he hasn't been. And using my mini-map to try to find him again. Looks like I'm having a little bit of difficulties. Where is he? There he is. Now it's time to start making something out of this. He's got a Yak 9T, which is a great plane to use, the Yak 9 Troll, but it doesn't have the best of flight characteristics against certain planes. So I could say probably like this Lag over here that I'm using. Yeah, there we go. Doing what would you even have called that? A low yo-yo? Would you have called that a low yo-yo? And taking him out, so that's 4-1 for me. Alright guys, so that is this video of this patch. Will I be doing another one? Unless there's something major that comes out, then okay. There's quite a number of planes that I've actually skipped out of this one, such as the higher tier planes that they've added, like for the USSR, but I don't have the XP, the levels to actually reach those planes and use them. And I've also neglected a number of lower tier planes because what's the point of using a lower tier plane when there's jets flying around a few? It just doesn't make sense to me. But anyway guys, hope you enjoyed this. Until next time, this is Krebs, and I will catch you all later.
Right, here we go. 3, 2, 1.
They've also introduced some lower tier planes for every faction, such as the Thatch's F2A1 Buffalo. So John Thatch, I believe that must have been his Buffalo. I don't actually know why they've called it the Thatch's Buffalo. Nebu, do you know why they might have done that? Why they called it Thatch's Buffalo?